So today is day 35 of my infiltration into the local Mormon ward. I actually skipped last week. Took my girlfriend out to brunch and we went to go see Captain America Civil War instead. It was much more rewarding, I'll tell you that right now. The Wednesday before that, May the 4th, the bishop gave me a temple recommend. Today's kind of a big day. I'm meeting with the stake president later on this evening at 6:10 p.m. to get his signature on that temple recommend. I don't anticipate that'll be a problem. I just gotta cross my fingers and hope that he doesn't have the power of discernment. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So, I've got the old look here. I'm calling this the Broussard McConkie. This is the Broussard. Kind of looks like McConkie, doesn't it? Can't see a damn thing out of these glasses though. But I expect another uneventful day in sacrament and Sunday school and priesthood, and then go home and I have to deal with this shit for another week. So we'll see. Wish me luck. So church is over now. This is day 35. I'm noticing a trend, a recurring theme that keeps coming up almost every single Sunday, and that is apostasy. It seems like almost every single week somebody gets up in either sacrament meeting, in gospel doctrine class, in priesthood meeting, and talks about how they have family members who have recently left the church. Today in priesthood meeting, the gentleman teaching the high priest group almost came to tears as he was sharing the fact that I believe he said his daughter and his son-in-law have recently left the church. They came to the conclusion that Joseph Smith was not a prophet, the Book of Mormon wasn't true, and so they left. They were talking a bit about the Spirit. I had to ask a point-blank question about the Spirit, and how do you tell if it's a spirit, if it's just your feelings, what you want, the desires of your heart. In fact, here's my question right here.
Recently, here this week, one of my children, my daughter, who went on a mission, her husband went on a mission, they were still in the temple and have 2 young kids. Said they no longer believe in the Book of Mormon or Joseph Smith. It's all a farce. That there's evidence there that the church doesn't deny, don't preach, that she can no longer believe in that. And her husband feels the same way. He's actually felt that way for 5+ years. He's just been going along because he's worried that he's going to break up the family if he said something about it. So how do we get to that point where I know that they both had testimonies, because I've been in situations with both of them and we felt the Spirit. And I know on their missions they felt the Spirit. So how can you be here and then one day or a year and then be here another time? How does that take place?
Well, a bigger question I think is how do you know when it's the Spirit testifying to you, and how do you know when it's just your feelings? For example, when I was on my mission, Dallas, Texas, mid-1980s, we had a youth fireside. There's about 1,500 youth at this fireside, and a general authority came and spoke And at the time, I recall thinking to myself, I have never felt the Spirit more in my entire life than I did at that youth fireside. And the general authority that spoke had such an overwhelming, the Spirit was so strong you could cut it with a knife. That general authority was Paul H. Dunn. And the man was lying through his teeth to everybody in the entire room, and yet everybody talked about how they felt the Spirit. And so you have to ask yourself, at what point are you feeling the Spirit, and at what point are you feeling what you think are true? I mean, I've got family who's left the church as well. People don't leave the church because they can't live the gospel. Generally, people don't leave the church because somebody offended them. They leave the church because they studied church history, they dug deep, and they lack the faith to believe. You know, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And this is a church that requires faith. If you don't have the faith, then you're going to fall away. But I'm curious as to how do you? I mean, when I sit there and I watch Paul H. Dunn in the 1970s and 80s speaking with such conviction and telling these amazing stories, and the Spirit was so strong, and then you find out later on, okay, I don't think the Spirit was testifying to me that Elder Dunn was being honest. I mean, the man is a pathological liar. He was, I think he was the first general authority emeritus because he brought a lot of shame and embarrassment upon himself and frankly, a lot of us. I mean, it was awkward. But how do you tell the difference? How do you tell the difference between the Spirit and what your heart wants, the substance of things hoped for?
It's important to also acknowledge and recognize the gospel is perfect, that men are imperfect and make mistakes. And we have to go back to the basics. And that's what I told my daughter to do. Obviously, it's heartbreaking and so forth, but we all have our own free agency. And there's a time in our life that our testimonies will be tried. And we need to go back to the basics, which is the Book of Mormon, the cornerstone of our religion. Yes, brother.
Another fun thing in church today was when I got there, I noticed that it wasn't 16-year-old boys getting the sacrament ready, and so I asked, where's the teachers? Aren't they supposed to be the ones preparing the sacrament? And I found out that all of the youth from the ward were on a bit of a service project with the bishop and his first counselor, and so the elders quorum and the elders and the high priest actually are the ones that wound up blessing and then passing the sacrament. Well, I couldn't pass up on that opportunity, so first I was going to just pass the sacrament, but it took very little effort to be one of the ones that actually blessed the sacrament. So that was fun. I haven't blessed a sacrament in, I don't know, maybe not 30 years. It's probably been a good 25 years since I've actually blessed the sacrament. I'm happy to say I did not screw up, did not have to repeat the prayer. That would have been awkward. I was tempted to actually to do it on purpose, but I chose not to. O God, the eternal Father, we ask Thee in the name of Thy Son, Jesus Christ, to bless and sanctify this water to the souls of all those who drink of it, that they may do it in remembrance of the blood of Thy Son, which was shed for them, that they may witness unto Thee, O God, the eternal Father, that they do always remember Him, that they may have His Spirit to be with them. Amen. Well, good news. It's still day 35. Unfortunately, I was not able to meet with the stake president tonight, but I got the next best thing. I met with one of his counselors, and I got me a temple recommend, signed, sealed, and delivered in my little hand here. Let the fun begin.